How's it going?
Not too bad. How about you?
How old are you? Good. I've been good. How old are you?
I'm 75.
You're 75.
Yes, you have a problem with that?
What year were you born in?
1951. I graduated in 1969.
Can you name like a popular band from like the 80s?
Michael Jackson, but he's not a band.
Can you name a popular like band?
The Beach Boys.
What the fuck is the Beach Boys? Okay.
I listened to the Beatles in the 60s through middle school and high school.
What are your pronouns?
He, her.
He. Hold on. You said he, her.
She,
Okay.
her.
She, her.
Yes.
Okay. Um. Okay. Sure. Who's your favorite president? Just out of curiosity.
Either FDR or Trump.
FDR or Trump? Crazy take, by the way, for Trump. Hold
Also,
on. What year were you
Ronald
born in?
Reagan.
Hold on. What year were you born in? Ronald Reagan.
1951.
Chat. What do we think? Okay. Take it away. Why do you support Trump?
Well, his policies align with my religious views, and I like what he's doing with, immigration. And
Okay. Religious views and immigration. What about? What about? What about him? What
well,
religion do you uphold?
I'm affiliated with Christianity,
Okay. What denomination?
Lutheran.
Do you hold to sola scriptura?
I do.
Okay. Do you think it's an unforgivable sin to depict yourself as Jesus Christ, which would be
I do
blasphemy?
to an extent.
To an extent, under what circumstances is it permissible to depict yourself as Jesus Christ?
If it's online,
So if I were to go online right now and claim I was like the Messiah, right? I was like Jesus. Would that be blasphemy, or would that be like permissible?
that would be permissible, honey.
What's the difference between like me saying that in person or online? What's the difference?
Because online is fake shit and in person it's real.
How would you determine that either way it would be fake or real if I'm saying it in both scenarios?
Well, I mean, I guess you could lie in person too.
So then that goes into my argument. It should be unpermissible on both scenarios, right?
Correct.
Okay. Would you ever support a candidate that commits blasphemy against the Holy Spirit, which we agreed is always unpermissible?
No.
Donald Trump depicted himself as Jesus Christ, which is blasphemy.
What do you
So
mean
which
by depicted himself?
he portrayed a photo as him depicted as Jesus Christ healing
Yeah, well,
people.
that was AI.
Okay, but we agreed even if it's online, if someone depicts themselves as Jesus Christ, that's blasphemy. And it's unforgivable under every circumstance.
Well, how do we know that Donald Trump really meant that? What if it was one of his, cabinet members that did that?
Because I'm pretty sure he took it down right after. He took down the post. He didn't apologize. He said he made this, but he thought he was a doctor. That's how we know.
Yeah, well, I'm not really sure what he was talking about with him being a doctor. I mean, I think
Obviously, he wasn't a doctor,
it was
right?
Jesus Christ in that AI photo. But I don't think it was necessarily
That
blasphemy.
was literally Donald. What do you mean it was Jesus Christ? It was Donald Trump depicted as Jesus Christ,
Yes, that's what I meant. It was Donald Trump as Jesus Christ.
right? And that's
But I
blasphemy,
don't
which is
I
an
don't
unforgivable sin under your view of Christianity.
I know, but I don't
And you
believe
said you would
that.
never support a candidate that did that, so you shouldn't support Trump.
Well, I can support whoever I want to.
I'm not forcing you not to support him. I'm just saying, under
Okay,
your worldview, you're the one who said you should not support him.
I understand, but in
So
my
why do you still
opinion,
support him?
that was not necessarily blasphemy.
Okay, how? Oh, okay, let's go a different route. Name one Christian value that Donald Trump has upheld.
Freedom of speech and
No, he's attacked the First Amendment. Media. He's called the media, MSNBC, CNN, illegal. The mergers that are pro MAGA, pro Trump. He's also attacked the First Amendment via having these pressed to have certain like credentials in order to enter the briefing room. So that's he's literally attacking the First Amendment. So name one Christian value that he upholds.
spreading love to thy neighbor.
He literally hates undocumented immigrants, hates trans people, hates women so much that he raped a woman, and he hates Muslims.
Where's your evidence for him hating Muslims?
Yeah, the Muslim ban 2017.
I'm not sure if I heard about that one.
It you can literally find. I can give you any source if you'd like.
Do you mind doing that for me?
Sure. Trump Muslim ban 2017. Um, ACLU of Washington, Executive Order 13769. That's easier. So the executive order you can find on Congress. No, not Congress. Holy shit! What a fumble. You can find on like the White House page or something. Executive Order number 13769. It's the Muslim ban.
Just to take a little sidewalk stretch, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Who do you think will be the Democratic nominee for 2028?
A lot of different people. Pete Buttigieg, Gavin Newsom, Harris, James Tallarico, which he should, if he wins Senate, he should stay there. You also have Ro Khanna, Mark Kelly, Ruben Gallego. You have. Am I missing anyone? Chat. I know there's like 28 different people. I named like seven. You have. Who else do we have? That's all I remember off the top of my head. But so why do you still support Trump even though he's like committed blasphemy, which is like an unforgivable sin?
Well, like I said, I believe he implements policies that reflect my identity, and with his, I don't. Some people say he's racist, and I completely disagree with
Okay,
that.
he didn't rent to black people in the 70s. There are he literally would have his employees write C for colored whenever there was like a person of color wanting to rent in the apartments and the buildings that he owned. They would put C for colored and they wouldn't accept it. They would send a white person, they would get accepted. He started the birther myth of Barack Obama. That's how he started his political career. Saying that Barack Obama was not born in America because he was black, he was born in Africa. And then he conceded to this later on. He said that Harris had turned black. The Central Park Five, where
Well, hold on.
five kids of color were exonerated of a crime, and he would still call for their death and the death penalty. You have the most recently him depicting the Obamas as apes and monkeys, which is historically a racist piece depicting like black people or people of color as like apes or monkeys to make them think that they're less than humans or something along those lines. So he is
Well,
racist.
going back to what you said about Kama turning black, she did, and she 100% did. She went from Indian to Jamaican to Mexican to black back to white.
She never claimed to be Jamaican. She never claimed to be Mexican or you said white. No, I believe her dad is one of those two, Jamaican. Her mom was Indian, I believe. Right? Yeah, or vice versa, something along those lines. Um, but the point is here, people can be um biracial. Biracial is a thing. So no, she didn't turn black.
Well, she didn't turn black, but figuratively she did in front of those crowds.
No, so if you're referencing like code switching, that's You probably don't even know what that is. What code switching is.
Well, I just saw videos where she, changed her accent in front of different audiences, which is kind of changing her race.
Changing,
And
quote unquote, changing your accent is like worse than like raping a woman.
no, 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 I did not say that.
Okay. Would you rather support someone who changes their accent or rapes a woman?
Neither.
So you're saying they're equal,
Who?
like changing your accent and raping a woman.
No, they're not equal, but they are both on the bad spectrum.
Okay. Okay. What the fuck? You said he upholds your views on Christianity. You said freedom of speech. I debunked that. What other Christian value does he uphold?
Well, those are my main ones.
Just freedom of speech. He doesn't uphold any other Christian value.
I know he upholds the Constitution, though.
No, he doesn't. Sorry for laughing. No, he
Yes, he
doesn't. But
does. Second Amendment, honey.
he violated the Second Amendment.
I don't believe so.
Yeah, he passed an executive order, the bump stock bans, in his first term that was deemed unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. He also wants to ban every single trans person from owning a firearm, which is a violation of the Second Amendment. Not only that, he's violated the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, Sixth Amendment, 10th Amendment, 14th Amendment, possibly the 22nd Amendment, maybe even the 25th Amendment. He's violated the Appropriations Clause, the Take Care Clause, the Declare War Clause, the Taxation Clause. So no, he doesn't uphold the Constitution. He is anti-law and order. He is against upholding the Constitution. He called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution, in December of 2022. So that's false. Also, the Constitution is not a Christianity worldview or Christian worldview. So, but that's your argument for that. He doesn't uphold it.
Also, I feel a little bit offended by that photo behind you.
So, are you conceding that he doesn't uphold it, or are you gonna like? What are you gonna do? Pivot? What are you gonna do?
Well, it's controversial, but I believe that he does uphold the Constitution. He took an oath in 2025.
Okay. Yes, he took an oath, and he's violating that oath.
Well,
Because
then
he's
why
violated the
isn't he
First
being?
Amendment, Second Amendment, Fourth Amendment, Fifth Amendment, Sixth Amendment, 10th Amendment, 14th Amendment, possibly the 22nd and 25th Amendment. He's violated the Appropriations Clause, Declare War Clause, the Take Care Clause, the Declare
Well,
War. I already said that.
if people don't like him, why doesn't he just get impeached?
Because Republicans hold a slight majority in Congress, and his cabinet officials are MAGA Republicans, so he can't leave via the 25th Amendment. Right? It's either 25th Amendment, Congress, or another body specifically meant for that. That's what it says in the Constitution. So what Democrats are doing, they're attempting to create this separate body, which would be a committee to hope to use the 25th Amendment whenever they need to. But yeah, that's pivot of him like upholding the Constitution and whatnot. So if you want to address that real quick.
Yes, well, I already addressed I didn't expand on it, but the Second Amendment, he wants everyone to have the right to bear arms.
False. Bump stock bans, they were unconstitutional. And then he wants to ban trans individuals from owning firearms. So that's false.
What is it? The bunk stop?
What's a
Bunk
bump
stop
stock?
ban?
Yeah, the bump stock ban. It was deemed unconstitutional. I can tell you exactly what it is. The federal bump stock ban was no longer in effect, obviously, because it was deemed unconstitutional. Let's see, blah blah blah.
Issy chick, I do read it. You can't say that. Just because I disagree with you doesn't mean that I don't read the Constitution, honey.
You obviously don't, but I'll tell you here in a second why. Um, let's see. The bump stock ban was let's see, something to do with like automatic rifles, I believe. Um, it prohibited the possession, sale, slash manufacture of bump stocks by reclassifying them as illegal machine guns. That's what it did. It was deemed unconstitutional. So no, he's not pro 2A. If he were to be pro 2A, he would have to be pro Constitution, and he's anti-Constitution because he called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found within the Constitution. This was in December of 2022. So that point's flawed. That point is out and dead in the water.
Well, what about how do you feel about the pardoning of the January 6th people?
Bad, very bad. They're domestic terrorists.
And I believe that, what's his name? Gavin Newsom, with his 100% tax on that,
W.
that is completely unconstitutional.
How?
All of the amendments. It
Okay.
goes against all of the amendments.
How? How does it go against the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth? How many amendments are there, just to clarify?
40, 67, 80.
No, it's not 40.
Also, the
It's
Antifa
27.
Antifa was in January 6th.
Okay, before
It was not
before
MAGA.
before before we move on, it was MAGA.
No,
Okay,
it was
first off,
Antifa.
Antifa isn't an organization. Okay, it's 27 amendments. So tell me how the 100% tax on the slush fund, if you're from California, how does that violate the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, 27th Amendment? How does it violate every single one of them? Please be precise and explicit with your answer. Go ahead.
Well, I'll kind of summarize it for you. So,
No, you don't. We can go play by play. How does a slush fund tax violate the First Amendment? Take it away. You can go in depth as much as you need to.
okay. Well, when I mean it violates the Constitution, I don't mean it applies to every single amendment. I mean
You
the
literally said it violates
Constitution.
every single amendment. You said that yourself.
Well, I meant the Constitution as a whole, as a generalized term,
Okay, how does it violate the Constitution? Go ahead, be specific.
because he is targeting specific people.
How does that violate the Constitution? Be specific.
Well, we can start at freedom of speech and press.
Okay, how does taxation violate the freedom of speech and press? Take it. Any they left.